So today we're going to be making some Resident Evil herb trays for display purposes. So I'm going to be using some paper and we're going to need to cut it up into the size that we want. So we want this to go onto a shelf and be slightly either angled in display or lay flat. I prefer an angled display, to be honest with you, but it's going to be a very 3D sort of thing. Hopefully this goes well and you'll stick with me to the end of the video so you can see the result as well. Okay, so we're going to start by folding a piece of A4 paper. We're going to fold it straight over and we're going to be as accurate as we can be with it. So you want to just fold it as you normally would. So I think personally we should fold it in half again. But if you fold it twice over so you have it in quarters, that way we can do a variety of different herbs. Okay, so once you've got your folded piece of paper, I think, to be fair, they don't need to be particularly square. We can use these 4 quarters quite well, I think. So I'm going to proceed to cut these up, and so we get 4 equal size pieces. So there's 4 equal pieces there, equal in size. We're going to make I think we should make the folds now. We're going to do a tea staining process. Anyone who has done this in primary school will remember. You want to fold it into 4 further quarters. Okay, doesn't have to be neat, doesn't have to be tidy, but we want it to basically, you want to be able to do this with it. Fold it inwards slightly. So I'm going to go and start the tea staining process. All you do is you put some warmish water into a bowl. You add a few tea bags, as long as they end up tea colour, and then you just wet the entire thing with the tea bag. We're going to tea stain these and dry them off. I'm going to stick them under a grill or something. Just be very careful, obviously, not to set anything alight. So I will be back after this. Okay, so that took me back to my youth. We had fairly sort of mixed results, but to be honest with you, I'm quite happy. I'm still quite happy. This is not quite dry yet, but I'm still quite happy. It browned quite well, and we can use sort of varying size. We have a little bit of distortion here, but overall it actually looks like quite a nice piece of paste. Very crisp as well. So we've got 4 pieces. I'm going to use all 4. This is slightly burnt, but it does give the appearance that it is basically just trash paper. I'm going to let this one dry a little bit more, I think, because that one's not quite dry. So we have our pieces of paper. We need to concentrate on making the herb pieces, the herb piles, and I think the best thing to do is use probably some crepe or tissue, coloured tissue paper, and we're just going to start by tearing it up, and we just want to tear it up. And that's starting to look like it might be leaves off of a herb plant. You don't want pieces too big, so that's quite good. So we're going to move that to one side, and we're going to get a bit of good old-fashioned PVA glue. Okay, so now we're going to try and get messy. It's going to be a bit messy, but we're using standard PVA glue. Okay, so get a nice big glob on your paper here. PVA glue is absolutely fantastic because it's obviously a water-based glue, and it gets all over your fingers. So we just want to sort of mulch it together. Don't get it too wet and sticky, but we do want it relatively well covered. Okay, and just add a bit of the dry stuff. It's just to get that texture. You don't want a clean ball of it, not yet. So it's going to get really sticky, and we want to try and get it in to something resembling a pile. Oh, this is a good sticky mess. I should do this with my kids. We want to be very careful when we place it on to the actual herb pack. So my fingers are actually dying red, so I'm going to be very careful when doing this because we don't want to stain the paper too badly. Okay, so we've got the paper. We're going to just plonk it on like so, and we want to try and make it into a pile in of its own. Okay, nice and easy. We're getting so stained from this. Again, just inch it out, make it look like it belongs as a pile of herb, basically. Okay, see, that's already looking quite effective. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I quite like that. Get it to look like a natural pile there sitting on the paper. Just using your fingers just to get it to stick to the paper. Yeah, I need to sort this out. I'm actually got red fingers, and the ideal thing for this, and a lot of you parents will know, is baby wipes. Baby wipes work an absolute treat. Let's get all that sticky mess off. Okay, so we're going to work with a different colour now. That's already looking really good. It's actually looking like a herb. I'm just going to move this off to the side there. It's actually getting quite heavy now. Okay, we have some green here, and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to pull off, it's just the same material, it's just simply just green tissue paper. Pull off a reasonable amount, a bunch like that. Again, and we're just going to tear into it. Okay, so that's looking, again, pretty much like leaves of a herb. We're just going to put the excess to one side. We want to keep the pile separate, though, of the herb. I can use this paper, but I don't want to go too far into the red, obviously. And again, just a dollop of glue. Nice pile of glue. Doesn't have to be a lot, doesn't have to be a little, just the perfect amount. Okay, so we're going to grab some of this and we're going to put it in, mix it up. So that's good. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side, very carefully bring over our herb, and we're just going to plonk that right next to it like that. And I'm happy with that. That's looking pretty good. So we'll move that out of the way. We'll clean up the fingers. Okay, so I found some blue. Make sure these bits here get out of the way. Very sticky, sticky. I don't want to be mixing colours, not yet anyway. So, right, we've got our paper with our glue. I'm going to move this out of the way because I don't want it mixing. And again, nice big dollop of glue. Try not to mix the colours up. I'll go for a little less for this, I think. And on goes the cap. And get it in there. Get it all mulched up. Okay, so I'm going to actually pull the rest of this off my finger. Really sticky mess. Okay, so good thing with PVA is you just rub your hands and it's practically gone anyway. But let's get rid of that and let's bring over the our herb. And yeah, that's not ideal, but we can try and split it open actually on it. So there you go, kind of mix it together. You want it in 3 sort of equal spaces, okay? And down, push down, just on the edges, make it look like it's a pile. You know what, a few stray bits never really hurt anybody, but I don't want stray bits. And there you have it. That is a Resident Evil Herb, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and have fun creating this yourself. It's a nice little piece to go on your shelf. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I will continue to do these videos on making your own Resident Evil props, and hopefully you'll find it as much fun as I have. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
I need the silence, stop the violence of the war in my head. Time's the healer, the eraser of all done and said. And as I fall back to my shelter, I know I'll